Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Success Thursday this week with Lena Löfdahl. Hi, Lena. Welcome back.
Hello, and thank you, Vasco.
So, Lena, on Thursdays, we talk success, but before we jump into that, we talk the tool that we most use to reach that success, which is, of course, the retrospective. So share with us, what's your favorite retrospective format and why?
So I will actually answer that with a question for now. And I will ask you, Vasco, have you seen the movies Pirates of the Caribbean?
I have seen some of them, yes.
You have seen some of them, because there's a retro format that I really like that has been inspired by those particular movies. And I wish I knew the inventor of this retro format, but I don't. So maybe that person can come forward now. It's called the 6 Different Faces of Jack Sparrow. Have you heard of it?
No, I have not. I know who Jack Sparrow is, so at least that part I know.
Well, then you have half of it down. So basically what that person did was he or she took screenshots of 6 super different faces of Jack Sparrow. And of course, Jack Sparrow is a super expressive person with lots of different faces. So there's a couple of different categories. There's a category Happy Jack Sparrow. There's a category that we call politically correct as What the Fudge. There's Thoughtful. There's Ouch, Mad, and Mexican Standoff. And why this is one of my favorite formats is because no one can actually look at the 6 different faces of Jack Sparrow and not be happy after seeing those. So because it makes people laugh and a little bit relaxed, because it's such a weird retro format, they open up and you get a lot of things out. So I really enjoy that format. It's been a favorite for a few years now.
Absolutely. If you have a link to share with us, we'll add that to the show notes so that people can easily find it. But definitely, that sounds interesting. I wonder if you've ever played the music at the start of the retro so that you get people straight into the mood.
I have. I love playing music at my meetings. It's super unexpected and it makes people smile.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those who might have seen the movie, it will definitely get them into that kind of mood, right? Like this funny mood. That was a great idea. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So now we turn our attention to success. And at the end of the day, we can't really be good at our job if we don't know what we are trying to do. And of course, what we are trying to do is to be successful. So we want to have your insights, Lena, as to what does it mean to be a successful Scrum Master in your perspective?
And I think that might be the week's most difficult question, at least for me. Actually, for me, I kind of define my own success because I worked a lot in organizations that doesn't really know what it means to work agile. And if you have a manager, for example, who doesn't know what it means, it's super difficult for them to give their expectations and for me to agree on what they expect from me. And I've had some conflicts on that topic, like we expect you to do this, and I said no. But I think in the end, they've always been happy with the end result, even though they haven't been happy with the way I actually got to that end result. Refusing to put pressure on the teams, for example, or other things like that. And there's a saying that says, don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. And I am learning not to ask for permission. I have to be honest with that. Sometimes I still do. But what I absolutely don't do is ask for forgiveness. I learn from my mistakes instead. And I think that's one of the things that I've learned is like, yes, I might not have always been perfect, or my thing or my approach that I tried wasn't always perfect, but I learned from that. And when I'm honest about that, it creates a super open atmosphere, and that makes other people learn and grow as well. So I think that's one of the things. And I really enjoy watching people learn and to always improve. I'm killing my darlings at all times and learning that that creates the atmosphere that I want to have in my team.
Absolutely. Now, you said I kill my darlings at all times. I do want to be clear on that. I think I know what you mean, but let me ask, nevertheless, what do you mean by that?
Let's say I try something. I had an experience quite recently that I tried the sailboat retro format. That did not work so well for my team. I've seen it work before, but that means that I will not force them to do that again. I will just learn, okay, this was not an approach that suited you. So let's try to find something else. Or maybe just go back to the Jack Sparrow retro format that always is working.
You can always go right by choosing the Jack Sparrow.
Yes, you can. But there's always, I want to point out here that happy people deliver. And I'm a firm believer of that. So in order for people to be happy, I try to find ways to make them feel like they belong. They have like a virtual home in their team. They feel safe. They get challenges and they grow. And I think that's super important. So one of my personal success factors is seeing people grow and be confident, seeing the junior developer come up with an idea that will make it easier for the team and be super proud over that for months to come. And giving them the confidence to become more senior at the role. So I think that's super important to me.
And I think you just described one aspect that I would like to highlight, which is that the impact of a successful Scrum Master is seen in the quality of life of the people around them.
And I think that's important. And I also wanted to share kind of an approach, if that's okay here, that I had to making my team a bit more successful. Because I was working as a Scrum Master for an offshore team. And we were making a lot of mistakes as a team. And so I wrote a very secret list of all the mistakes that I felt that my team was doing. And said, okay, we need to talk about all these things, but I can't really tell them, okay, our estimates are wrong. You don't say if you don't have any questions. I mean, there's a lot of, you have to create the right atmosphere for that types of discussions. So I created a game. So I have a fake team that creates fake stories, that burns fake story points in fake sprints, and experiences all the mistakes that I felt my team was doing, like pulling too much into the sprint and not delivering. And that actually made it a lot easier for people to talk about their mistakes because it all happened in a game, right? That's one of my kind of success tips here, is to try to find ways to not make it so dramatic, the conversations that you need, because you need to have a lot of tough conversations. Let's be honest. You didn't pick the easiest of occupations when you took Scrum Master as a role.
That's a great example of something we call like projection, right? So like you don't talk about your team, you talk about this other team, right? Like it's in the game, so whatever that game might be, the team is doing something, and maybe it's just a quiz or whatever, but just help the team reflect, therefore project what they are doing onto other teams and kind of give the other team advice, when in fact what they're doing is giving themselves advice.
Yeah, and I think that has proven to be quite successful.
Absolutely. It's a great tip. Thank you for sharing that, Lena.
You're welcome.
Part of a successful Scrum Master job is to help the product owner. Tomorrow we explore that critical role in Scrum, the product owner role. Tune in to learn about product owner anti-patterns, what you can do to help the product owner, and a real-life example of what a great product owner is and what made it so. Tomorrow on our Friday Product Owner episode. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.